Okay, guys, today we're talking about something that's kind of personal, but if you don't do it, then it does mess up your business. So I guess it's business related, right? I'm talking about non-negotiables. You got to have those things that you're just not willing to give up. And if you don't do that, you're going to get burnt out, and then it's just going to mess everything up and screw with the system, right? So that's what we're getting into today. If it helps you out, please do the like down below. It really does help me to see what is working for you and what you need more of. And subscribe if you'd like to know when new videos are coming out. So let's get into your non-negotiables. Okay, so I want to talk about something that a lot of people, when they're successful in business, they start doing when it's too late, or when they're super big and it needs to be done, or just later, right? But what if you started doing it from the very beginning, because it should happen, right? So I want you to start doing a habit, and this is completely different for everybody. It's a very personal preference type of a thing, but we should all have non-negotiables, okay? Nothing should stop us from doing these things, no matter what. Okay, obviously if somebody's, hurt, has a heart attack, that type of thing, I get that. But for the most part, these need to be things that happen no matter what, okay? So what am I talking about? I'm talking about things like dinner with your kids, okay? So me and my kids, we just moved, and one thing I told them when we were moving was that food was going to be different for us, because when we lived in Los Angeles, we didn't like to cook. We didn't like our kitchen. There was just things, and yes, they were excuses. I fully admit that, but it just wasn't our area, so we didn't do it. So I told them, I said, we're going to have such a nice space and a good thing that we're going to do it this way. And with that, I told them that we were going to go out to dinner once a week, right? So it went from going out to dinner tons or fast food to once. And then we were going to rotate, and people get to pick and this and that. It's been amazing. It's been, maybe I had to do some work. Maybe I had to make some more money. Maybe we shouldn't have spent that money at that time, right? Because when we go out to dinner, usually it's on the cheapest end, I'd say it's $30 for the three of us. And, some of the more expensive, maybe 60 to 70. Okay, so maybe sometimes we shouldn't spend the extra money, but it's been a non-negotiable since we've moved. Every Sunday, we go out to dinner as a family. Sometimes it's a little earlier so I can get something done. Sometimes it's a little later, but I make it happen. Okay, and that's huge because especially with my kids, they're not going to be this age forever. And already I feel like they're completely grown up and they don't need me very much. And so that's been something for me. But that's just an example. You could have a husband, right? That just needs that little bit of time. You could have a pet. Okay, maybe that pet just needs to walk. Just one 10-minute walk in the morning type of a thing. We're not talking about anything that has to cost money. We're not talking about anything that, is going to take tons of time. But you need to have something, okay? And even for yourself. You need non-negotiables for yourself. One of my favorite people, Rachel Hollis, she goes into this in her book, Stop Apologizing. And my favorite one, and I love to tell everybody that'll listen about it, is the part where she talks about Chris Hemsworth and having coffee with him. When I read that, it completely blew my mind, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And if you don't know, her book is amazing. And she just goes into, if somebody told you Chris Hemsworth wanted to have coffee with you tomorrow, you wouldn't let anything get in your way. You wouldn't let, your husband saying, oh, can you please, go to the dry cleaner to pick the, no. Yeah, right. Sorry, honey. He's on our list, right? Or you wouldn't let anything. You wouldn't let, maybe it was somebody else's day to pick the kids up from school. Like maybe you have a carpool thing going on and they're like, oh, actually, I have this. You wouldn't. Because you need to have time for yourself. And we should treat, maybe the gym every morning is your time for yourself. I know it is for me. Since coming here, I get to go to the gym at 7:30. It's the perfect time for me. I don't have to wake up too early, and then I get done with it before the day's kind of started. And so that's another non-negotiable that I have is I get to work out at 7:30, and nothing's going to get in that way. And I love it. So that's another thing. You have to think about yourself. And as you grow your business, most people, it's out of necessity, where your kids don't see you anymore, or maybe your husband feels neglected because all you do is work. And then you have to kind of be like, okay, how could we fix this? Could we add a date night? Or maybe I just listen to you more, or maybe I do this and that. So you kind of have to come up with these things. But why not from the very beginning? Just start it as a habit. What a nice habit to have, right? Something for yourself, something for your family, something for your dog. It's not that complicated. So I just want to make sure you guys know that that's something that's amazing, and that everybody should have as a non-negotiable. All right, you guys, how did that work out for you? Do you know what your non-negotiables need to be? Once you have them, and once you have them like in place and going, they really just become normal and part of it, and not something that you have to work at to remember to not let yourself do. So I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please like down below so I know what's working for you and so I could do more of, and subscribe if you'd like to hear more, and that way you know when new videos go up. Thanks so much, and see you in the next video.